right, hey everybody, it's Jason Shadwick with Premier Guitar. We're at the Winter NAMM show in Anaheim. You just heard Austin. We're at the Boss booth. Just heard Austin over here. We have Matt over here, and we're going to be talking about the new Katana amp, correct?
Yeah.
All right, Matt, so tell us a little bit about what makes this one different than the other Katanas we've looked at before.
Yeah, so most of you, if you're people out there, would have been familiar with Katana. Obviously, it's been out in the market for 3 years. It's been incredibly popular, and you know, the things like the Class AB power amp compared to something else that's Class D gives it the real feel and response that you want. And last year we released the MkII version, so it gave a lot of upgrades, more sounds, more effects, but still was very, very plug and play. Now, alongside that, we've always had the Artist, which has been our flagship sort of performance kind of class amplifier, if you will. So it obviously made sense that when we upgraded the 50 and the 100 and the head, that we upgraded the Artist as well. So it features the same sort of upgrades that we had on the Katana MkII that came out in October last year. So we've gone from 5 amp sounds to 10. We've got 3 simultaneous effects to 5 simultaneous effects. Obviously still really easy to dial in, EQ. But the Artist, again, going for that kind of performance style amplifier. We have our Waza speaker in here. This is our custom designed Greenback style speaker, totally redesigned from the ground up to give the best kind of possible performance with the sounds that are in the amp. We've also added in global EQ, so you can have a different set of EQ shifts that you can dial in. We've got onboard cab resonance and a line out air feel. That changes the way that the actual kind of cab sim speaker sounds when you go out of the line out.
Got it.
But we've built in an extra feature on this one that is different to all of the other ones. So there's a bunch of other features on the back, like power amp in, that you can use multi-effects to go straight into the back. And the MkII that came out last year had our stereo expand, which effectively allowed you to send the power amp from one into another to run kind of like a stereo setup.
Yeah.
But we wanted to elevate that to the next level. So the Artist has something called dual link. So if you run 2 artists together, you can actually now control them both off 1 foot controller.
Oh, wow.
So you can have a wet dry, you can have one driven, you can have one clean, you can have one with delay, one with reverb, you can have, running them in stereo phases, for example.
Right.
So it allows you to have 2 independent amps controlled off 1 foot controller. So for a really kind of top end sort of performance.
Yeah. And of course they all work with the app as well, and you can program it through there.
Yep, so we have an editor over USB, so you can edit everything on there. It takes 8 presets, so you can have a bunch of presets saved that are then controllable via the foot controller. And then the foot controller also gives you like a pedal board mode as well. So in every preset you go into, you can then go into the effects and you can use it like a set of stomp boxes as well. So, everything opens up, you can edit everything and dive down, but it's also really plug and play, and that's the one thing we wanted to keep.
Yeah.
No menus, no manual, just
simple, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So with all that in mind, let's start hearing some sound. So on the intro there, that was, we have it on channel 2, but that was more of like a lead sound, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll go to channel 3. And you can go in, and then you can turn things on and off, like delay, reverb. We can turn the modulation off. So you can go to a completely dry sound, you can add the reverb back in, add the modulation, come back in, and then we can go back to our channel 2, for example. And you can see exactly on the foot controller what's on. You can turn them on and off. And then we can go to 4. So you've got your amp sounds and then you've got your pedal board. So it really opens up. The foot controller is separate, but it allows you to add in expression pedal, volume pedal, and an additional pedal for an extra solo boost that's on the front panel as well.
Oh, nice. So they get routed into the appropriate spot in the signal.
Exactly. You can actually move things around. You can move the placement of the volume pedal and stuff like that as well. And you can use it as an expression, so you can do pitch effects, control delay time for everything as well.
And what will be the pricing on that?
So these are $629 MAP, and they'll be available within the next month.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Matt.
No worries.
Austin, we're going to have you play us out. This is Jason Shadwick with Premier Guitar.